let's go to the Buddy Guy show because they actually, I'm going to give them points for this because this was they do decent analysis. The problem I have is their overall analysis, and they kind of do the same thing as Dave, where they're selling you this $1 million fantasy. But this was a good video. They go through tax stuff and things like that. They're talking about if you're 40 and you're starting to save what you need to save, and they compound it by month. I did it by year, but it's about the same numbers I came up with. But I'll just show you.
For a 40-year-old, if you want to be a millionaire, by the time that you get to age 65, you need to be saving about $780 a month towards that goal. If you are a 45-year-old, it would take $1,351 saved per month to get to millionaire status. Now, I want to flip the paradigm a little bit. Let's assume that you are a financial mutant out there. Let's assume that you're someone who has been saving. I want you to get excited because if you can find a way to save an extra $1,350 a month or an extra $780 a month at your age, that's an extra $1 million that you might have by retirement.
Okay, so he's right. That's perfectly right. You want to save $1 million, right? And they do get into this a little bit more, which is, well, if you double that, you can save $2 million. But they don't tell you is $2 million 20 years from now is going to be equal to $1 million today. But that they're kind of encourage it. So it's not a bad assessment or analysis. What frustrates me about it is we missed the bigger point, which is we're talking about somebody who's 40, right? Most people who are 40 are married or divorced. A lot of them have kids, right? And they have kids that are either not usually young, but usually like between 10 and 20, right? So kids that are getting ready to go to college, that are more expensive. You know, you might be in a situation where you need to get them a car, right?
They might have activities that have lots of activity fees to them, lessons of sorts, etc.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, and trust me, like I have friends, you know, their kids turn 16, and it's like we're getting them a car, and you're like, wow, that's gotta be nerve-wracking, and they're like, no, I'm sick of driving them around. Once they have the car and they can drive, they can start running errands for me. Because I know when I had a car, I did a ton of errands for my parents. Right? When you're 16, you don't really mind. You don't think about it. You're just like, I just want to go cruise around. Give me $10 for gas, man. All right. So, but that's the thing is it's like, okay, the financial mutant, blah, 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 blah. But let's talk about if you're talking about somebody who is in their 40s and they're married or they're divorced, can you scrape up that money every month? If you have child support, alimony, if you have kids that you're paying for, all that. So we're not factoring in the bigger issue, which is who are we really talking to for these guys? I mean, Dave's just sort of generically saying crap. They're specifically talking to the top 25 to 30%.
Right.
They're not talking to the
So
rest.
I was going to say, if you're in the income bracket of that top, like roughly 25%, that first number, that 780 number, feels like a doable number. Mm-hmm. That $1,300 a month number, to me, feels less doable unless you just get more into that like 10%, you know, and up income-wise.
Yeah, and if you have kids and all that stuff, I mean, you're looking at, okay, I need to live on. I mean, I'm probably wanting to live on $7,000 or $8,000 a month. If that's what I'm making, right? Which means if I want to save that extra $1,700, I need to be making $10,000 a month before tax. Which means I need to be making about $120,000 a year. Which means I need to be in the top 15, 20% of the country in wage earners. So, once again, we're talking about a very select group of people. Right? My only criticism of that is if that's what we're talking about, you need to specify that. Don't say, oh, well, financial mutants, like, oh, if you're just really smart. Because that's their little shell game they play is, oh, it works, but only if you're really smart. That way, when it doesn't work, they can say, well, obviously you're an idiot. Not that they'd say it like that, but they can just sort of brush it aside. Well, this is only for the financial mutants, for the real maximizers, right? That way, when it blows up, they can go, well, yeah, but it's really for these people. And when they say
Right.
these people, they don't mean the financial mutants or the maximizers or the really smart people. They mean the people that have higher incomes. That's all we're talking about.
Right.
So it's kind of like I said, it's kind of a bait and switch. But then why I think that's a little shady is because where do they make a lot of their money? Selling their financial products, selling their software programs, their food program, their financial order of operation, their 9-step program, I actually got, because we subscribed to them, I got a bunch of emails and notifications on Facebook about it's Christmas. Buy the Money Guy Show financial products for your family and friends. Only $269 a piece. For $700, $800 worth of software that you can buy the people you love. But only if they're financial mutants, because it doesn't work if they're not financial mutants. So
Right. And all that software, I mean, I'm sure the software is great, but
no, it's a good program.
You have to have a certain amount of knowledge and understanding in addition to income to be able to turn those things into the financial status you're looking for.
Well, the other thing about it too is, what are we skipping? We're skipping what are your goals? The assumption is you just want to make money and have a lot of money in the bank, right? And you want to do it without changing your lifestyle. Maybe you want to change your lifestyle. That's not going to be in that program.
Right.
What if it's, I want to start a business? That's when what a financial planner should be doing. It should be, well, what do you want? Because
Right.
Do you really want your life today to be exactly the same way it is today, 5 years from now? I think if we interviewed 1 million people, I bet you 70% would say no.
Right. They'd be looking for something to change, whether it is simplifying or doing just something different.
Yeah, I want the bigger house. I want the different career.
Right.
I would like to be married. I would like to, finish my degree, whatever it is. Most people do not want their life to be stagnant forever. But we never talk about that on these shows. We never ever discuss it. The assumption is your life will be stagnant forever, so you need to learn to live on less and save more so you can have enough when you retire. But even then, your life's going to be incredibly stagnant when you retire, so nothing changed. All you did was dig yourself into a ditch and stay there.
Right.
It just seems like kind of a waste of a financial education or an opportunity to talk to a financial expert, as it were. Because when my clients come to me, my question is not, so you want to be a millionaire. This is what you want to do. You got to save this money. You're making $5,000 a month. You need to learn to live on $3. That's right. Ramen only for you.
And learn to love it. Maybe some
Learn
ways to eat ramen.
Ramen. Can I chop up carrots in the ramen? How much are carrots? $1 a pound? Nope, can't afford it.
No carrots in your ramen.
You can get radishes from the Chinese market for $0.25 a piece. But that's kind of my whole spiel. So, anyway, that's when you think about being a millionaire versus what do I really want? Is a millionaire really what you want to be? Because it's really just a number that we're hitting. Or do I want this quality of life or this standard of life or something?
Right.
Think about that, because that's a better target to shoot for.